good evening and welcome to Prayer Zone Live. Thank you for your company tonight. I do hope you're well. It looks like we've got a decent crowd here on Zoom, and if you're watching on YouTube, a very special welcome to you as well. The title for Prayer Zone Live tonight is A New Beginning in Ecuador, and we'll meet my two special guests in just a minute. We'll then pray together in breakout rooms about 7:15 and finish off with our question and answer session. So do be collecting questions as you go along, if anything comes to mind. So I think with a following wind, we should be finished by about 7:45. I hope that's okay with you. But let's start with a prayer. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, that we have free access into your presence tonight as your children. What a privilege that is. Thank you that we can approach you freely to share absolutely anything that's on our hearts. Please hear our prayers and answer. Work things out according to your will so that lives are transformed around the world and your kingdom increases. For we ask it in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, it's time to meet my guests. Stewart and Anna-Claire Cusick arrived in Ecuador at the end of August as our newest missionary couple. They'd already done 2 years in that country with Latin Link and have now gone back with Reach Beyond. Anna-Claire is a doctor and Stewart is an engineer. It's good to have you both with us tonight. Hello.
Hi, we just dropped out and we're back in again.
Yeah, that was some good timing.
Yeah, we have to admit we've got a few internet connection problems with Ecuador tonight, mainly because they've got a power cut where they are. So everything's on 4G. So, you know, keep praying and we'll keep them on. That'll be great. So it's great you could be with us. I know it's been a hectic few months for you both. I mean, it's hard enough becoming new parents, but then moving to Latin America straight after that, that's quite a challenge. Tell us where you're living right now and what it's like there.
Yeah, so we are living in Shell, which is where we were before. It's on the edge of the Amazon, and you can see Stewart there showing our lovely new house that we've got. So we had a pretty big, we had basically a month when we got back of just doing loads of things like not buying a house, getting a house, getting a car, getting all our documents sorted, and getting down here to Shell. But yeah, we struggled at the beginning with the climate because when we got back it was like 37 degrees. But actually now it has cooled down a little bit. It's a little bit nicer, and yeah, we're really enjoying being back. Actually, it's really been. We didn't feel like we were coming back to somewhere new. We feel like we were coming back to a home. So that's been lovely.
That's great. We can hear Erin chattering away in the background there. Is she settling well into her new surroundings?
Yeah, she's doing really well. She takes everything in her stride. I think when we first got here, like Anna-Claire was saying, we started off in Quito altitude, and it's quite dry up there, and it's cold at night. And then we came down to Shell, and it was 37 degrees, and it was a lot for her, and she was just a bit uncomfortable. But now she's used to the temperature. She loves it. She loves all the Ecuadorians and the attention they all love to give her, and sometimes we don't even know where she's gone because somebody's taking her off, and she's trying to involve herself in the conversation here. And she's also, we've just started this morning with a babysitter half a day a week just to get her used to that.
Brilliant. How are things going with the team that you've joined there at Vosimanos?
Yeah, actually really, really good. We had such a lovely welcome. One of those photos there on the left-hand side is our welcome back again. They threw us like what you would call is like a baby shower. And they all it was so lovely. We weren't expecting it at all actually. They had like party food and things, and they had gifts for us, but also they went round the circle and they just asked everyone to give us a bit of advice and a Bible verse about how to be new parents. And it was just so lovely because we just really hadn't expected it, and they were all just really looking forward to having us back again. So we just felt so welcomed. And then down the other one there that you can see is our team down in Shell. So we have the bigger team that's at Keto and Shell, and then that team down in Shell is who we work with most of the time. But again, they just were so excited to have us back again. Same thing happens with Erin. Whenever we're in work, we can't find her because David has her showing her. He was taking videos of her, like showing her all the tools that are in where he works and things like that. So yeah, they've just been so good. And Dawn and Benicio, who are like in charge of the Shell office, Dawn's been helping us with a bit of babysitting a couple of times when we've needed some help, and she's just so good with her. In fact, you're better with Dawn than you are with us, aren't you? She sleeps for like 2 hours for Dawn and sleeps for like 10 minutes with me. So yeah, the team has been class. It's been really, we just felt really at home coming back to it. And just this past weekend, we had a new couple that are coming to join us with Latin Link, but they're coming from Switzerland to work as well. So we were getting to know them a little bit better over the weekend. And yeah, they seem like a really good fit for the team. So he's an agriculturalist and she's a social worker. So they're hoping to come and start in around January time. They're doing language school at the minute.
That's great. As I said, you've lived in Ecuador before. Are you seeing any changes since the last time you were there?
Yeah, I suppose the biggest thing, but it started when we left, was the insecurity. There's a lot more people stealing. There's a lot more drugs. There's a lot of violence and people getting kidnapped and things. Where we are, it's more minor crime, but our church had its television stolen. People have been seen trying to break into our offices. The hospital that we worked in before had some stuff stolen. So yeah, it isn't the way it used to be, where you could like nearly leave your door unlocked in Shell and not worry. We are seeing a lot more unrest that way. We've also got a new president, so we'll see what he does. Hopefully, he says he's going to crack down on the drugs, so that's a new change. Everyone seems to be in agreement with what him being voted in, so there's been no unrest that way. And then just the last thing that we're really seeing changing is there's the power shortages that we're talking about. There's a lack of water in the reservoirs, and so it makes it hard to work, because we're out of power for 2 hours of the day, or for 4 hours of the day. It can be very, and we don't know exactly when it's going to be, so it can be quite hard that way.
Are there any aspects of Ecuadorian culture that you particularly enjoy or are finding not very nice?
Yeah, so the thing we love most about Ecuador is the people here. I would say that Ecuadorians are some of the friendliest people I've ever met. They're always trying to help you with something. They're always trying to find whatever it is you need. They're always trying to make friends with you and chat to you. So we absolutely love that. And it's part of the reason that we felt so at home coming back again. They've really welcomed us with open arms and tried to get us back into community here as quickly as possible. And they've just been really, really great. We also love the country Ecuador. So they have some beautiful mountains that you can go walking in. Again, the Amazon is beautiful, and there's some absolutely stunning places that we've been here. And yeah, we've done a lot of walking in their Andes, which I would highly recommend. The bottom pictures are probably the things that we would say we maybe don't like as much. Whenever we work with the jungle communities, we eat whatever food they provide for us, so that we can show that they can give their part to the projects as well, and also just that we can show we respect them and their culture. But one of the pictures there on the left is some of the food that we have to eat. They're like little larvae that they dig out of a center of a tree, and then they fry them up, or sometimes they boil them up, and they're an absolute delicacy. So yeah, it's not my favorite food, especially not at 7 o'clock in the morning. And then the other big thing is the chicha that we would tend to drink with the communities, which is it's made from yucca. But what they do with the yucca is they chew it and spit it out and ferment it for a couple of days, and then they share that with you. And it's like a real way of welcoming you into the community. So it's really important that you drink it, but it's definitely not my favorite thing. And yeah, you don't feel great after it either most of the time. So mostly those are the things. They're just small things, but culture wise, we really do love the Ecuadorian culture. They could do with changing their eating habits a little bit, but other than that.
Great. Have you made a start then with any ministry plans regarding water projects and mobile clinics?
Yeah, we've been very busy. I've been out to the jungle quite a lot on short day trips or a couple of night trips. And so, well, I've got 3 water projects on the go at the minute, and we're just trying to finish one of them. That's me on the left-hand side. They're just trying to put in some access valves in the community. And we're nearly finished with this community, and we really hope to finish by the end of the year, at least have everything installed, and then we just have to go back and check things. But we're just waiting on them to do their side of the work, and sometimes that can take longer than expected. On top of that, Anna-Claire's been meeting with all the local governments and agencies, and trying to create agreements for collaborating with them. So that's her, with some signed agreements in the middle picture, and down on the right hand side meeting the local government. And we have an agreement which is to help renovate and put in toilets and showers and sinks into some of the health clinics that are basically the farthest you can fly from Ecuador, right on the border with Peru. Some very remote communities. And the reason for that is so that Anna-Claire can help with medical caravans throughout the year while we renovate it. And while we're renovating and putting in these toilets, then she can build up a relationship with the community, and then hopefully the local government will take over. So yeah, we've been very much involved with all that. We've been meeting with universities in the States to try and just get more funding, more collaboration, and just really trying to find other ways to work with other organizations here. That's what we're really trying to focus on at the minute.
Excellent. Obviously, this has been a massive change for all 3 of you. How has God been sustaining you? And have you seen any kind of specific answers to prayer so far?
Yeah, I would say we've been really, really, really blessed coming back. That picture on the left there is just some of the paperwork that we had to do whenever we came back again. We had to get all of our ID cards, we had to get Aaron's visa sorted, we had to get driving licenses, and we had to buy a car. And all of those things here in Ecuador just take so much longer. And also just navigating those kind of like, what would you say, traumatized, like those systems is really difficult in a second language, in a country that you don't understand a lot of what's going on. So we actually managed to do all of that in like what I would consider record time. So we really felt that God's hand was in that, just affirming us coming back again, and had just really didn't have any problems with any of them. Aaron's visa came out very, very quickly, which was a real blessing as well. And the car, we found the car within maybe like 2-3 days of looking for cars, and it was like a really good deal, and we felt really good about where we were getting it from. And again, the same thing happened with the house down here in Shell. It's actually quite hard to find houses in Shell. Most people just live in apartments if they're renting, and we really didn't want that, especially going forward with Erin. We want a bit of space for her outside. So actually, a couple from our church were renting this house, which is another real blessing, because it means that we know who it is that we're renting it from. Sorry, guys. She doesn't like being left out of the conversation. So yeah, the couple that we know, the couple that we're renting it from, and there was some problems with the water and the pipes in the house, and because they were a Christian couple from the church, there was absolutely no hassle in getting all of that sorted. They really were happy to help out, and they didn't give any fight back on it, which is really rare and was really, really good for us. The other thing I would say is that despite the fact that Stewart has been to about, I don't know how many communities and drank so much chicha, none of us have actually got sick. Since we've got here, we've actually been in pretty good health. and we haven't had any problems with like the usual tummy bugs or flus or any of that kind of thing. And even Erin, who like had to change countries at the age of 2 months and get used to altitude and then extreme heat, has been fine. You know, she hasn't had any sickness, which has also been really incredible. And we've just felt like really at home coming back again. We were a little bit anxious leaving Northern Ireland because we were there for nearly 6 months. And by the end of the 6 months, we really felt like we had almost got back into being in Northern Ireland and it was our home and all of that kind of stuff. But we haven't felt like we've really missed home since we've been back again. And I know that will come at some other point in a different wave, but actually coming back again, we just felt really at home. We felt really like this is where we're supposed to be. And that's just really helped with the whole process of getting back into working here. And also, like, just with regards to the work, like you were saying, have we got stuck in again yet? I feel like almost there's been so many doors opening, it's hard for us to almost pick where to go and what to focus on. And it's really something that we're going to have to look at going forward with having a family as well as trying to work, because God has just opened so many different areas that people want us to help with and people want us to collaborate with them. And although it's a blessing, we're also sitting going, okay, right, when do we call it quits? When do we go, yeah, we can't take on anymore? But again, it's just been a real affirmation that this is where we're supposed to be and this is what we're supposed to be doing.
So we want to pray for you. How can we be praying for you tonight?
Yeah, big one is those relationships and those agreements that we've created with the local healthcare system. There's a doctor called Jimbo, and just pray for him. He's the director at the minute, and he's due to be moved to to lose his job basically and be moved elsewhere at the end of the year. But he really wants to work with us, and he's a really good contact. So just pray that he might be moved to somewhere else, that he can still work alongside us and help us to provide for the needs for the people. Yeah, just like I was saying, we're just looking for someone to look after Erin. We had a lady this morning looking after her for a couple of hours, and that went really well. So just keep praying that goes well and that she adapts well to that. Praying for the new couple that Anna-Claire was talking about coming from Switzerland. It's just nice for us because they're the same age as us and they're wanting to start a family, and it's just people in the office who we've got something to share this experience of being missionaries abroad with. And then for the communities that I've been working with, just pray for that we just work well in collaboration with the local government to help to renovate these local health clinics that are so remote but are so valuable, and that through that we can find other ways to help the communities and just create relationships. And then just pray for the organization and our funding. I feel like it's one of the big things that we'll have to do as we develop the projects, is look for more funding, as Bossy Manis is Ecuadorian now and has maybe less contacts than what Reach Beyond International would have, but it's still very much connected with Reach Beyond. So just helping that process develop. And yeah, just being thankful to God for our help and Erin settling in, and her she's just so easy and she just gets on with life, and we're just so grateful and thankful for that.
Although people probably don't think she's easy after this phone call, but actually she just likes to hang out with you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Anna-Claire and Stewart. We'll be praying for them both very shortly. And as I said earlier, the Q&A a bit later on will have a time for you to ask your question directly to the Cusicks. So have a think as to what you might want to ask. You can type your question into the chat box at any time. Just to tell you, the next Prayer Zone Live will actually be our Christmas celebration, which will take place at Fountains Church in the centre of Bradford. This is a real physical meeting at the location of our new offices, which we hope to be in at some point in the next few months. The celebration will be in the church sanctuary, but will also be on Zoom for those of you who can't make it to Bradford. I notice we've got someone from Texas here. I don't expect you to be coming, Jim and Trish. It's always a great occasion when we have these events with carols and readings, plus some festive appearances from our missionaries, including Stewart and Anna-Claire, plus a few other surprises which we're working on right now. So do put the date in your diary. It's Thursday, the 7th of December at 7 p.m. And if you are with us in person, there'll be a little tour of our new offices afterwards, plus the obligatory mince pies and mulled drinks. That's Thursday, the 7th of December, and that's at 7 p.m. If you'll be joining us online and you already get our email updates, look out for the invitation a couple of weeks before. If you don't get those emails, just send a quick message to prayerzonelive@reachbeyond.org.uk and we'll make sure to send you the Zoom link. Or I can recommend that you sign up for our regular email updates, magazine, prayer information and stuff like that by visiting the Connect page of our website. If you are coming along in person, send us an email to the same address and we'll know to expect you on the night. Right then, Zoom people, don't go anywhere, stay where you are, but it's time to say goodbye to you if you're watching us on YouTube. So thank you so much for being with us this evening, and goodbye.